guys, so we are back talking about the journey to 10B, and I just want to take some time to explain why special funds. So first of all, even when we began this process of applying, we didn't have the terminology of special fund because there was no regulation around special funds as yet, and so we just knew we needed a product that would be diversified across markets, across regions, across asset classes. Why? As I said, we began in a season where we were in an election year as we were processing this. We had several things collapsing, banks that, the financial system was going through a bit of a tumultuous time. And so we needed to figure out, fine, if the dollar does what it does, or if the Kenya shilling does what it does, I need to be in a product that cushions me from local risk or country risk, but diversifies across asset classes that enables me to be able to benefit or at least do okay, irrespective of what's happening in Kenya. So we thought, let's create something that gives us the flexibility to invest in different markets and in different products. And so when we presented our application to CMA, they said, oh, by the way, there's these new draft regulations for collective investment schemes, which includes special funds. At this rate, by the way, I must mention that a fantastic lawyer called Kimani Njane from Bwen Wangongo, who's now become a brother. I told him, my friend, you're going to help us. All these legalese, please, idea hapa. Me, I know about what we want to do, but jumping the hoops and getting this process done, could you help us? So they came on board and they helped us with the process. Anyway, so that's why we started this. We wanted a product that recognizes that people are busy. You're a mother or you're a father, you're an entrepreneur, you're an employee. We have so many obligations and so many things. When will you take the time to sit and think, do I buy this? Do I sell this? Which market? What currency? No. We help you to do that in a way that is also open for you to understand. And we felt we want to do it in a manner that is transparent, but also in a manner that is consistent, so that we're not doing this sort of thing where returns are high one month you're 50%, the next month you're 14%, right? Just consistent returns in a sober way. Okay, so that's the background. So what happened next is we realized, the returns for 2024 were 29% per annum. I can't even tell you what that did. By February, we were at 2B. Can you hear me? From 1 billion in December, February 27th, we hit 2B.
1B was overwhelming. 1B was overwhelming. And I remember talking to my chairman, and I'll say my chairman talked to another chairman in the industry. And his words were, he was told that once you've hit 1B, the taps will open. And actually he told me, I was told, once you hit 1B, the taps will open. I remember immediately we hit 1B. We celebrated and we celebrated in a small way, but we said, let's have dinner with the staff so that we can celebrate the 1B. And luckily or unluckily for us, one of the directors was not around. So it had to take about 3.5 weeks for us now to have the sitting and celebrate the 1 billion. But wow unto us, by the time we were having that dinner, we were at 2B. So the 1B celebration dinner, we celebrated 2B. And that's when I knew that it's a celebration, but it's not a celebration to now say that we've reached. It's a celebration to say now, get ready for more responsibility, get ready for more is coming, because now people have started trusting you. And the way we have our 3 T's, so trust, transparency, and tactfulness. Now it's time for us to be tactful. We are being transparent, but now more money will come. We have to maintain our return. We have to manage our efficiencies and even our customer service. So 1 billion for me was a transformative stage. And now I'm finding ourselves at 10B. Now we are just going to get ready over this Christmas period for bigger things next year.
Okay. So, as we are starting the year, now Trump is getting into power, and we've explored the offshore market. The global instruments are within our portfolio. In January, we've crossed 1 billion. So in January, still things were okay. The market was good. Things were looking great. There was not too much volatility at that time. So the strategy was held, still the same strategy. Diversify, observe the markets, manage your risk, get high yield instruments, get into these papers, sell this, buy that. So in January, things were cool. Moving into February, we got into AUM went to 2 billion. Actually, there was a growth, very rapid. We had planned something funny. We had planned to celebrate the 1 billion milestone, and that celebration was postponed. So when it was postponed, that date that we were supposed to do it, we actually hit 2 billion. So we were celebrating double celebration for the 1 billion, for the 2 billion. Now in the month of February, we're already at 2B. The investments still okay. We were into CFDs. We are cruising nicely. The markets are friendly to us. Everything is sitting correctly. All instruments are performing well, apart from a few. I think the options at that time were a bit not performing well, but majority of the assets were. Now it came a time that period. Actually, it was now heading into Q2. Heading into Q2, now that is when we got another dealer. Yeah, now heading into Q2, got another dealer now to come and help us because the AUM was growing too quickly. Heading into Q2, actually in the month of April, we experienced volatility. There was too much pressure in the market. There was too much pressure, and I remember we received concerns even outside from clients, from stakeholders. How are you managing? How have you managed? Is everything okay? Has the fund collapsed or something? Hey, there has been a huge movement. Markets are dipping and everything. There was that time when Trump was announcing tariffs and putting in policies and measures. So things were everywhere. So as dealers, even for the internal people, the operations, staff, distribution, they were concerned. The only people who had answers to these questions were dealers on the inside. So we were explaining even internally, even to people we were working with, because they really wanted to understand, how are you able to maneuver these conditions in the market? And the answer was not easy, but simple. It was simple answer. The fund, the way it is structured, it is a multi-asset strategy fund. Multi-asset strategy fund, meaning we are able to restructure. We are able to just adjust to the market conditions, and we are able to do that quickly. We have assets within our portfolio that even when the market is dropping, we are gaining. like contracts for difference, we are able to go long and we are able to go short. If I say go long, I mean we are able to buy assets in that asset class. Going short is we are able to sell. So actually in that asset class, I'm able to sell an asset that I actually don't have. It's like a derivative, you know. So when things are dropping, even in the US market, we have contracts for difference for the equities in the US market. So if these equities are dropping, prices are falling, and as a dealer, I know there is that instability and I sell those CFDs on equities, I make a return. You get? I make a return and I balance out on whatever I had bought. If I had bought cash equities, I sell CFD equities, I get a return, I cut my losses on cash equities, I balance or I get a net profit from that. So that it was a turbulent time in the market, but due to the multi-asset strategy that we employ, it was just a smooth event for us.
2025 has been a learning journey. One of the things, if I may look on the side of actually the dealing team, I can say between October to February, you could see the yields coming down. But with yields coming down, we were more concentrated on fixed income, where capital gains was more, it was easier to generate income on capital gains. But by around March, it stagnated in a place, and we had to look for where to get returns. Remember that our focus is to try and do 20% after fees, considering our fees is 6% on the special fund. Our actual target is to make 26%. So anytime we place money in a fixed deposit, a call deposit, or even just buy a bond. If we buy a bond, say an average of 13 or 14% yield, we know that we have a deficit. Our aim is not to buy the bond and hold, because if we buy and hold, we are actually going to give lower returns. Our aim is to trade. So looking for that extra, I always call it extra. So if average deposits at around 13% and you are looking at 26, we need to make the extra 13%. 13% has to be made from leverage products or proper trading profits. So there was a good transition between March, April, where we started doing more of the NSE equities. And the NSE equities actually did well for us. We've also seen more uptick on options, and options actually are actually doing well. And we are going, as we go forward, we are giving more of our portfolio allocation to options trading. However, options trading is good. It's leveraged, but also can hit you. So we are taking calculated risk on that. So it's been a lot of change happening. Now we are seeing a place whereby rates have really come down in terms of placements, but there's a very big rise of corporate bonds and commercial papers in the market. With corporate bonds and commercial papers, it's good in terms of rates, because you'll find papers coming out from, let's say, 14% to 19% versus what you might get in treasury bills of below 10%. However, there are risks inherently bigger with commercial papers and corporate bonds versus the T-bills. So unlike when you'll find that if you're doing treasury bills or what you'll directly go, there is a lot of due diligence that has to happen with this. So what that has taught me is a lot of delegation. You cannot do things alone. If you want to move quickly, move alone. If you want to go far, go as a team. So it has led to a lot of delegation in terms of splitting teams for due diligence, also incorporating the synergies that we have in Faida Investment Bank, especially the research department, whereby you'll find them even going for basically company visits to understand these companies, what they are, before we even invest in any of those companies. We have done a proper background check. Some of them have yielded a no from the research team, which is perfect. We better leave the high interest on the table than take a risk and then our funds, the funds of our investors are at risk. Also, beyond that, we are still experimenting on more and more investments. So sometimes you'll look at our asset allocation, but behind the screens, there are other things that we are testing so that we can incorporate them in future. Some of them I won't mention them, but we'll be seeing. So looking forward, I'm seeing massive opportunities coming in. The major thing is, are we ready to take them on? That is the question. And every day we are still scouting. One of my roles is to scout for talent, scouting for opportunities, and seeing the next thing. Because can we manage 10B? Yes, we can manage 10B. But where do you want to be? Do you want to be at 30B? Do you want to be at 50B? If you are at 50B, how does it look like? What returns are you looking at? Do you have the capacity? Do you start building the capacity now, or do you wait until you get the money? And that is what you're looking at going forward.
At this point in time, it's like we need to hire more customer service people. We need to make sure we have this and da-da-da. And so now we need the systems and the structures to be able to handle more clients. Meanwhile, we've gotten a lot of complaints. 1 million is too high. You need to reduce your entry level and blah, blah, blah. So we reduced it to 500,000 shillings. And then it's like, we don't have space. You know, we need a new office. And oh my gosh, you guys saw the video of our office. And by the way, one of the things that I love about Faida is that a huge portion of our team that was there when we were starting this fund have been in the company for a long, long time. And let me introduce you to one person who's been here for quite a long time. Her name is Jackie. Jackie has been at Windsor for many years, worked together for a long time, but Jackie has been one of our very loyal, valuable employees who's in the customer experience team. So maybe you can hear from her before I go on.
Hi, my name is Jackie Murila. I'm in the customer experience team at Faida Investment Bank. I have been in Faida for the last 18 years. All right, I joined Faida during the Kengen IPO. That was in 2006, in February. It was a time when the IPO was crazy. Many clients, many people. We were working even 48 hours. We had so many clients. It was such a big, busy IPO. Yes, we did it. We finished, then other IPOs came. Safaricom came 2008, Ever Ready, and others. So I've been in Faida. Actually, I have experienced all the IPOs. Okay, when I joined, I was at the town office. And then during the IPO, the Safaricom IPO, we moved to EcoBank Towers. So we moved to EcoBank Towers because that office was, to us, it was a bit small. So we moved to EcoBank Towers. We were there for about 4 years. And then came back. We closed the office because the Crawford office was born. So we closed it and moved to the town office, and that's where I am up to now. Windsor House, first floor, along Mwindimbingo Street. Yeah. Okay. We had been doing shares over and over. Shares, bonds, treasury bills, advisory, advisory mergers, rights, IPOs. And then Oak came last year, around January. So Oak came, and at first we were like, now what is this? Okay, fine. We had been told about the CIS, and we were looking forward to that CIS. So then it came. So this was an office where we were like 4 people. We were just 4 people who were doing shares. And then Ian is the first one who joined us. So Ian joined us, and he was the one doing everything, actually. He was like the man running everything about Oak. So then he later got his team, just a few because of we had not really set up everything. So he began getting the team. And yes, we began telling clients about Oak Special Fund. So to me, it was a very good experience, because it came at a time when shares were not doing very well. Clients were always asking if we have anything else. It would always stop at, you don't have anything else. I bought Safaricom. I bought Mumias and it closed. I bought Everready, it's not doing well. You guys don't have anything else. So we would see that these clients have money, but then they just need to invest in something else. So then something else by that time was the bonds, the IFB bonds, which were also doing very well. But then others would be like, I don't want to wait too long in bonds. Can I get something else? So when Oak came, actually, it was a blessing. It was so easy for us even to sell it because when they were asking, do you have something else? We would easily pitch them to Oak. And they would, okay, fine. They would listen, ask so many questions about what this Oak is all about. Will I lose my money? How long is it? They will ask so many questions. But with the time, they understood it. The ones who had been asking and going away, the Kenyan way, they will ask, go away, they digest, then come back. So actually clients started coming back. And that's how we have gotten busy. It's still busy even now. So it's an office where clients want to confirm that, is this Oak real? Is it a briefcase office? Yes, where I want to know where is your boss? So where is the team? And luckily the team is there. So usually it's just easier. Just show them this side. This is Oak operations. This is customer service. This is compliance. And they're satisfied. And the next thing is like, give me the form. I want to onboard. Amazing. This year has been so good. It's been bullish. It's been bullish. The market has been bullish. Prices have gone so high. Guys have made money. They have made money on capital gains, on dividends, in shares. And it's easy because when they make the money on shares, they want to ask, where else can I invest? It has given us a lot of confidence, actually. So it's been easy for us even to get the Oak clients because we diversify. So now that I'm doing these shares, and I know maybe next year will be an election in a time, I've made capital gains. Jackie, where can I invest this money? So we easily put them in Oak and tell them, let's invest this money in Oak. We give it a year, then we will be back to shares. And for the shares, right now, the minimum amount of shares, actually the minimum number of shares to buy is 1. Just 1 share and you're a shareholder. Yes. So they tell us, now the big monies I put in Oak and the small monies, 5,000, 10,000, 3,000, I'm building on shares. So they are they are building their portfolio, growing their portfolio both in Oak and in shares. Yes, but shares have done very well this year.
So of course that's customer service, but let me tell you where the work is. Where? The back office. The back office is something we have had to fix and make sure it is operating at a level that is super smooth. And we've taken a lot of effort in automation, but we didn't start there. And Fiona is somebody that, thank you first of all, Fiona, for your flexibility. Fiona was in our finance team, but there was something about Fiona even while she was in finance. She always had this operational way of thinking, and I felt that out of the people who we could have gotten to help us with this process, I felt like because of having worked with her that she had the guys who have attention to detail, but not just from a numbers perspective, from an operational perspective. Anyway, so Fiona accepted to transition to Oak and to help us to systemize things operationally. So I'll let her tell you the story about that, and then I'll come back.
Hi, my name is Fiona Nyanchera. I'm the operation manager for Global Markets. This is where the Oak Special Fund sits. Okay, I have been a staff with Faida for the past 8 years. So once the Global Markets division was formed, they saw a need for an operations person. And several of us went for the interview, and I was lucky, I got the position. So that is how I ended up being the operations manager for the Global Markets division. So how I found the division. We were a very small team. I think it was just 4 of us. So we were doing everything from scratch. One of the first things that we were tasked to do is setting up custodial accounts. Because, this is a fund. you cannot operate the same way that other institution operates because the funds have to go through a custodian, right? So we had to set up the custodial accounts. We had already identified who our custodian was. So it was just a matter of setting up the investment accounts, collection accounts, disbursement accounts for the various funds that we had. So this process, it was a bit tasking because you can imagine we have never run a fund before. All this was new to us, for everyone. So we had to seek guidance. As you're doing the process, you also seek guidance from the custodian. We're lucky to have at least a good custodian who walked us through the journey, the requirements, setting up the signatory mandates, the KYCs required. Oh my goodness, it was quite a journey, but yeah. So basically operations, it ensures that the structures, the systems and the processes for this particular division are in place, and they will run seamlessly even before we received even the first investment from the clients. So it's just setting up the foundation, the system, the processes. 2024, from the time we received the first investment, this was in February 20th. That is when we officially started the investment as well. Between Feb and March, I think we received just 2 clients. By the end of April, our AUM was around 10 to 15 million. Come April, that is when we started getting a lot of clients. So by the time we're reaching May, our AUM had increased to, I think, 25 million, thereabouts, 25 million. But remember, the system is not yet in place. We are still doing the Excel thing. Client has come in, client details, the money invested, the assets that you've bought in the same Excel. So towards the end of May, that is when we finalized now the automation of the system. But now remember, the system, you're going live, but the operation is still going on. It is quite challenging because you have to test, you retest, you troubleshoot, but ops is still going on, you know. By this time we had received, I think we were at least 5 of us. Sales team had joined as well. Before initially we could do everything. You are the ops manager. At 11, you turn out to be, I think, IT support. By noon, you're marketing. Then a client calls, you have to close the deal. So you turn out to be a sales agent as well. So we used to do all these things before. At least now we increased our staff. Yes, and from then it's been onward and upwards. Okay, let me tell you what we were doing. So number 1 is we used to open client onboarding, opening accounts, maintaining the client's accounts as well. Number 2, what we used to do, having correspondence with the custodian. You want to buy an asset, you want to buy, say, a bond or shares or whatever asset you want to buy, you have to send correspondence with the custodian. Also, you have to keep communications with the counterparties. So the counterparties in this case is, apart from the custodians, you have the trustees, we have the organizations that we trade with. You had to have communication with them. Because, you know, once you trade, you're supposed to receive statements. If you don't get the statements, how are you supposed to account for whatever you have purchased? So it was an on and off communication on it, but it was throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. You had to do such communications. You also had to communicate with the clients as well. Once the client has opened the account, we didn't have the system, Richie. So what do? Draft an email, thank you for opening your account number is this, So it was manual. Each and every client that comes, you have to do that. Any client communication, I was the one who was handling. So as time went by, we increased the number of RMs. So say from October thereabouts, that role decreased from the operations side, and now it was majorly handed over to the distribution team. So as it is currently, they're the ones who contact their clients. At the end of every month, you have to ensure each and every asset is sitting right. Each and every client's contribution has been put correctly yeah. So that is basically what we do. And then they have to be sent out by the 5th of the next month. By the 5th, without delay, without delay. You get even out on 4th or 3rd, clients have started calling, I have not received my statement. What is going on? So you can imagine if you don't send it by 5th. So when I talk about the growth, we have increased the operations team to, we are around 6 right now. We are 6. Yes, so you find we have broken down the roles that you're supposed to do. Yes, so the account openings, we handed it over to the distribution team. You get your client, you open your own account, then operation team is the one that approves it in the system, okay? So at least that role has been checked from our division. So for the contributions, we have someone who is dedicated to handling the contributions. But the good thing is we have integrated the system fully. We have done the full integration. So once the client puts in the correct format, it just automatically credits in the account. So what we do, in the morning, we print out the statement. Then the one who is supposed to counter check goes to the system, says, okay, these ones have been automatically credited. So the ones that have not been credited, that is what you do. And they're not very many, they are very, very minimal. So someone else has to approve that. And for the correspondence with the custodians, we have someone who's dedicated for that as well. So we have really broken down, segregated the duties, right? It's not like before how you used to do everything, you are here, you're there, you know. Now we have segregated the duties, and it is, we are running efficiently and effectively. Okay. Yes, even the turnaround times have really, really increased and improved, yes. So we have the mobile app and the online portal as well. So these apps have really helped us as well, because right now the clients can be able to open their account from the comfort of their home. We don't have to physically go take the forms there. Then the RM has to input the data and all that. So once the client opens the account, fills in the details, the pop-up message comes to the ops team. So once we get the pop-up message, have to confirm that each and every detail has been keyed in correctly and all that. So if the details have not been keyed in correctly, we have to respond back to the client. Now at that point, we, the operations, are the ones who respond to the client, because we are the ones who are viewing that the portal messages. So once you respond to the client, then they provide the documentations that are required that they were not able to probably upload the previous time. We now approve. So once we approve, they are assigned to the RMs now. They are assigned to the RMs. And also they do the top-ups as well in the app. So it doesn't need any human intervention there. You just key in your data, your details with the format that is given, and then just it automatically goes to your account. And once it has gone to your account and you approve, you just get the email that your transaction note is here, your account has been credited with X and X amount of money.
Okay, so we're back. So one of the things I had said to the team, when we get to a B, I'm taking you all out for dinner. My treat, mine. I'm taking you all out for dinner. So by the time we're having this dinner, imagine we're at 2B. So the team at the dinner was like, now Rina, we're at 2B, but now we need... So I said, no. Now we need a bigger target. So, okay, so the team, we agreed that the next celebration would be at 5B. And so the target for 2025 became 5B, and it seemed fairly reasonable. But in the meantime, we agreed we have to put in systems of a Lamborghini, Bugatti actually, right? Like proper systems, put in automation everywhere, including onboarding. And so, of course, that requires time. But, we ended up doing that. So I think by about June or so, we had a system that was working. All this time we've had systems. From the get-go, actually, you can't get approval from CMA without back office systems. But the system I'm talking about is the automation from a customer, for like the front end of of the system is what we needed to operationalize, which we did. And so now you can onboard on your own using the link. You can check your own statements, you can request withdrawals and make deposits and so on. Anyway, so that process has been really useful. But the other thing I want to talk about is returns. I hope you're enjoying listening to this journey. And as you listen, in case you're like, I want to join Oak, the details on the screen. We have the Kenya Shilling Fund that's available for you. We also have the USD Fund that is open and available to you. And so we can share a fact sheet with you, information on how you can set up. You can set up a call to find out more information, and the details are on the screen. Karibu sana.